Peoria police continue to investigate whether educators at a West Valley high school fulfilled their obligation to report signs of alleged abuse on campus. 12 News journalist Sean Rice explains what the law requires and why some believe necessary accountability isn't coming.
These people are called mandatory reporters. These are people who choose to work with minors on a daily basis, coaches, teachers, administrators at any given school here in Arizona that are required under Arizona law to report suspicions of abuse to either law enforcement or the Arizona Department of Child Safety. Recently, Maricopa County Attorney Rachel Mitchell said the evidence can be low, but they are still required to report it.
If you have a reasonable belief, which is a low standard, that a child is or has been abused sexually, physically, or a victim of neglect, you are required to report that to either law enforcement or DCS.
And recently, leadership at Centennial High School in Peoria have come under some level of scrutiny for whether or not staff and administrators there fulfilled their obligations as mandatory reporters after it's come to light that two female teachers were allegedly having sexual relations with the exact same male minor student. According to a police report, when officers arrived at the high school back in July of last year to investigate Angela Berlacca for allegedly sending explicit images to a student, the school's principal, Scott Hollabaugh, volunteered that he received information from a parent earlier that month expressing concerns over the actions of another teacher named Haley Beck. The parent wrote in the email that Beck gives the students gifts, and the two were also seen together in a car after school. There is no indication that the principal shared this information with police before they arrived at the school that July day. So the question here is that a violation of Arizona's mandatory reporting obligations? At a district board meeting last night, several parents raised that question.
To actually believe that no adult on that campus, including your principal, knew nothing about it and didn't report it, I find that pushes the limits of credibility and believability.
In a letter to families late last month, Peoria Unified School District Superintendent Dr. Casey Summers said that the Peoria Police Department has already investigated whether or not staff and administrators at Centennial High School violated their obligation to report abuse immediately. In his letter, he said that there is no indication that they failed those duties. The reason the police department concluded is the concerns raised at the time didn't meet that low standard of reasonable suspicion of abuse. He said the district's own investigation reached the exact same outcome. But today, in a statement to 12 News, a police spokesperson said that they are still investigating whether or not these mandatory obligations were not followed. They said that is based on new information coming to light. This is a charge, a criminal offense, that our top prosecutor here in Maricopa County will charge.
That's a law you never want to have to prosecute because you just hope people would have the common sense to report. But if there are situations where people who are mandatory reporters did not do that, in this case, we certainly will take a look at that.
And in that letter, Superintendent Summers says they as a district have reinforced to every employee specifically how staff are supposed to respond to concerns about student safety. He also reminded every employee that reasonable belief is the standard in which they must report abuse concerns. We're in the newsroom. Sean Rice, 12 News.
All right, Sean, thank you.